if the people who listen to words that are coming out of my mouth, billionaires, the people who are running the country are hoarding minutes of your life. And I hope that you are comfortable in your life where you are and the amount of time that you've traded away and the people who own that time now. Because we trade our time for dollars, and there are a handful of people who are sitting on lifetimes.
Cheers. What do you got there? Ooh, a little ghost.
Yeah. Well, this is the EDC.
I've never seen that.
Everyday carry energy drink, right?
That's hilarious.
But it's like, fucking, I don't know, some dance fucking thing.
That looks like an IPA something, almost a crazy IPA can.
They look crazy nowadays. But they stopped, so they kept the flavor. This is an old can, because those 15 packs at Costco have them in the new wrap.
Excellent. And I guess we might as well say what we're smoking. What do you got there?
I have the Tobac exclusive collab with Crowned Heads.
All right.
Little box press guy.
I enjoyed one of those. Pasta did as well. I won't share my thoughts yet. I'll wait to get yours. But I am smoking a Cigar Factory Social Club, which I believe is Nicaragua with Ecuadorian wrapper, or it's Nicaragua on Nicaragua. Get the red and the black labels confused. This is the black label, but the red one I had while I was in New Orleans was excellent. So we're going to see what the black one's all about. This is supposed to be a little stronger, a little more bold.
So you haven't had that one yet?
No, yeah, with a little espresso should be pretty good, I'm thinking. I shared it on my story, and depending on how hot we're feeling after, I've been seeing everyone. It's like, obviously, whenever whiskey or a bourbon company comes out with a new bottle, they get it in the hands of all the influencers. And everything I've seen in their hands is the
Penelope
barrel proof, the Penelope barrel proof, the red label one there. And I'm like, whatever. I went to the new, I can obviously blank this out, but this renovated up there. First of all, crazy strategy, I feel, to change. I mean, I get updating the look and the feel, but to change the entire pricing and product strategy to align with and compete directly with them feels crazy to me. Because I feel like a lot of their demographic were people looking for a little more affordable groceries.
Yeah.
Now it's direct competition,
Really?
which it seems kind of crazy. Been there, that's been established, and then you're going to miss out on like the families, the people, maybe who are using food stamps and whatnot to buy food there. Because it's all like one brand of like the one thing you're looking for now, and it's like, for example, looking for chia seeds, and they only had like red mill, like Bob's like red mill for like $9 for like a little small like bag of it. This is one example, but the whole place, it looks great, it feels nice, the produce, the meat looks excellent, but it's very expensive now. But they had great bourbon selection. I was like, let's see how well you're trying to really compete with. And impressive bourbon selection. Buying the bottle's like $60, not crazy, but not impressed with it. We'll see though. All that to say, not super impressed with the Penelope barrel proof.
I feel like it's a lot of new whiskey brands. I mean, it's all. I mean, if you look at the major manufacturers of spirits, there's only so many houses that are doing. There's only so many houses that are doing a whiskey. Right. There's only so many houses that are doing Scotch. I think there at one point was 11, and now there's probably like 3 or some shit.
I believe it.
So you're getting their stuff, and they're selling it. You're white labeling it, right, type of a thing, or maybe you are buying it and you're casking it yourself, right? And you're aging it in your barrels.
That's how, like, at least in the bourbon world, when we went down to the trail, it's either coming out of the Buffalo Trace distillery or it's coming out of whatever Evan Williams is connected to. Those are like the 2 big ones, and then everything else under them is our tiny little shops, basically doing their own thing, or maybe 1 or 2 to 3 other brands. But those shops got like at least a dozen labels under them, well-known labels.
Yes, Yes, and that's, and some of those they're like higher end brands, and some of
Yeah.
them are just another um, beverage company uh, holding company
Yeah, like
beverage.
Willett, Blanton's, all out of Buffalo
Yep.
Trace. Evan Williams does like Jim Beam and a bunch of other stuff too. Maker's Mark, all the same stuff.
That's why I really like some smaller places.
Hmm.
You have like DCD, Detroit City Distillery.
I have had theirs. Yeah, I also toured that place when they opened. I was really impressed by it. Actually, they won a lot of awards in Kentucky too. I think when they took their stuff down there.
And they're doing a lot of stuff in house, and it's not IBC totes that they're casking. They're doing the mash. They're making their sour mashes, and
Yep.
they're fermenting. Two James, also in Michigan.
I've heard. Haven't
good.
actually been or tried yet, but I've heard great things.
And what was Johnny? I think you would like their was it Johnny Smoking Gun? It's like a
That's the name of
smoked.
it.
It's like a smoked whiskey from Two James. It's really good. And then what's the one that's in Clawson? Vice Distilling.
Vice.
Yeah.
I know we have here too.
Oh, okay, yeah, completely.
I've never been.
No, we see it every time we go to the farmers market. It's never like, hey.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Stop
have
in and get a drink at 9 a.m.
we have in if you ever need a cocktail or anything fancy, it's always a good place to go.
I recently we just went to the over there and threw some axes. I had no idea that was upstairs there. That's a riot.
I've only been to the Axe Bar once.
Yeah.
It was for my brother's birthday, and it was just packed.
Really?
Packed.
It was empty. It was like
Really?
us and like they literally put another couple in the lane with us because it was just like, you guys want to have some fun, like
Competing.
yeah. So it was fun, but literally no one was there.
Oh wow! Because we went in January. I mean, this was probably like 8 years ago, but yeah, it was packed. It was a Friday night, I think.
They went on a weekend.
Absolutely
Yeah.
packed. Wow.
Summer weekend. They got some crazy pizzas there. It looks
They
like
do.
I think the special when we were there was like a hot honey chicken thing, but they had like crushed up like honeycomb and honey nut Cheerios like on it. I didn't see it. I just saw it like on the bars, like the listed special. I was like, that's crazy.
It's been a minute since I've been, but they do they have all those big tables so you can play games and you can eat, and they bring you out like cereal.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Their game library is pretty. It's been a minute since we've been in, but it's been their game library is huge.
Yeah, looked like it. Anyways, you just built a long range gun.
I did.
You want to share a little bit about that? How that was?
Yeah, it was great. I had a 18-inch Aero Precision S1 upper kicking about that I'd gotten on sale or something. Just was like, can't pass it up.
Right.
It's too cheap not to buy it. And I decided that I wanted to put a can on something.
Got the itch.
Dedicated. Yeah. And I wanted something. I was spending a lot of time out in the thumb area, and it's like, oh, you can actually shoot, right? It's more than 100 yards, right?
More than bill drills at
300.
a pile of dirt.
Yeah. More than at a pile of dirt. So I had a lower that I had bought, put some money into, and had a fucking Bear Creek Arsenal 450 on top of it for hunting season. So I said, fuck it, I'll put this on, kitted it out, put a B5 Systems precision stock on it, the Spectre Cat, $2,000 for the glass up top. But they say you should spend...
That's barrel and glass. Yep.
Yeah. But that glass is... If I get another long... Because we were shooting 6.5 Creedmoor yesterday out of a shitty Savage Access. But I was like, I like this round.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, now I need a 6.5.
Nah, yeah.
But yeah, it's great. Shitty Magpul bipod on it, but it works. The Badger
Was
Ordnance.
it like a single like point connection to the rifle, like right underneath center of the handguard? Like, how's it mounted to the handguard, the bipod?
It's an M-lock.
M-lock, okay.
Yeah. So I've moved it a little bit to varying degrees to see how I like it, and then where I have it now, I think is good.
Gotcha.
It gives me like the most range of motion on it, and that bipod's not terrible. It cants and
Yep.
swivels a little
Yep.
bit. You know, I mean, it's plastic and maybe a little bit of metal.
I mean, you probably want it to be as light as possible, though, at the same time. You still want it to be durable. You don't want it to, like, flex under tension, obviously. But, I mean, you probably don't want it weighing you down any more than you got a glass, a can on there. So,
Yeah, I mean, with the badge ordnance mount, with the the DPP on the 45 next to it, which is spot on. I mean,
Yeah.
I barely zeroed it at the DNR range at 50. And so when I was out with my buddies, I was just like, yeah, I'd like to tighten this up. And he's got some steel silhouettes. So I went out to 50, and I was just like, let's see where this lands. Put a dead center chest, and I was like, all right, that worked. 3 shots. It was
Can't
all.
complain, yeah.
I'm like, that works for a little red dot on there.
Hell yeah. I asked about the bipod because I have, you know, when I was back in 2019, when I was more seriously starting, quote unquote, seriously starting to get into it, I built a really shitty, cheap AR-10, you know, like PSA 10 lower, you know, Bear Creek Arsenal 308 side charging upper. It's a 20-inch. But I went with Magpul bipod, but it's a 2-piece and it mounts to the side of the M-lock.
Yes.
So individual. You don't get the cant though, which really sucks. And even on its lowest setting, it still sits kind of high in certain positions depending on the terrain or how you're trying to shoot it. If you're in a seated position, you're trying to shoot it, it could, depending on the height of the bench, but it's just a bit of a pain in the ass to fuck with. So, yeah.
If I was really serious, and there's some drips
Yeah, I'm
coming down.
hoping it doesn't get any worse than that.
If I was really serious about long range shooting, which again, where we're at, there isn't a whole lot of opportunity. You know, that isn't a hour drive, which is fine. You know, I can go to my buddy's place,
Yeah.
and we can stretch out to 300. He says 400, but because he just got he's got a brand new thermal scope, and he is super big dicked about it. It's a
What's he hunting usually?
so the dude just slays deer. He has 2 full freezers full.
Nice.
You know, and because they were given, and they're still giving out tags like.
Really?
Yeah, they want. I mean, they're not giving them away, but they want you to buy them.
Interesting.
There's no cap on them
Yep.
again this year, just like last year.
Wow.
So a lot of deer, and now there's some coyotes that have moved in to the area, and they had one of their chickens got taken,
Time to go.
and then the neighbor has a couple of goats, and apparently they got a goat. So I mean, I saw the occasional raccoons that try and get into his chickens and his ducks, but he's got a little suppressed 22 with a night vision scope on it that he keeps like right by the window that stares down onto it. So if he hears shit, he just
Click.
puts it out the window, closes the window. But yeah, so he's got these thermals to go coyote hunting, and he bought that Creedmoor, the Savage Axis that he bought. The only reason he has it is because of the glass that was on top of it, because it was a package deal. He couldn't have bought that the AGM thermal scope he wanted, and without the rifle. So now he's
Interesting.
He's like, I have another rifle now.
Yeah, whatever.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
My safe is now more crowded and heavier.
That's my thing. I have like a small, like, slim safe that's used just for like shitty fun guns, project guns that are just being worked on or in pieces. There's some like spare lowers laying around, and the big safe has the more serious stuff that like I'd rather like go to if I need it, or, you know, I take the classes or more serious about. And that safe is now running out of room. So I'm like, okay, either some of you had to become fun guns, or we needed more bigger safes.
So when I bought my safe, I had the SBR, I had the Scorpion, and then pistols, and then
Yep.
and the KSG, which
Yeah.
I brought out yesterday,
Long barrel,
and
right?
that thing is not as long as the long range gun,
Yeah.
and not as heavy as the long range gun, surprisingly. Even
I
fully
am
loaded,
surprised by that, actually.
even fully loaded, they're probably about the same. But
Interesting.
and then I only had a 10-round magazine in the long range gun,
Wow.
just because I think
Hefty.
it's sexy. Short mags are sexy.
I know. I want to fight that trend so badly. I want to normalize, the standard capacity thing. But every time I see, a Mark whatever build, it's always got that 10-round sort of slanted aluminum mag, and I'm like, it's kind of hot. I mean, that's why I bought the same style for the 308 too.
Yeah, like the 10 and 20 round, just the look. But then you don't have to fight like positional
True.
stuff, right? With it, you're not trying to fight the magazine to get lower. Yeah, so we were supposed to go yote hunting last night, but the wife is out of town, and one of the cats is on antibiotics, so I had to come home,
Yeah.
give the cat
kids are
antibiotics. The kids are sick. My furry little bastard children. So yeah, we didn't. And I don't know if he was big dicked about going out last night anyway, but it would have been cool. It'd have been really cool. So instead, we watched. He watched videos on how to do that, and I showed our other buddy how to put a plate on his gun.
That's a useful skill.
Yeah, he's new to non-revolver firearms.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I talked to a buddy of mine in Ohio into getting his concealed carry permit. He's looking into buying a pistol. I told him, the mistakes I made, the route I went. I was like, I got talking to a G26. Like, it's great, if that's, the only gun that you're ever really gonna like concealed carry. But like, no, it's hard to straight up mount an optic on that. Unless you want to deal with the stupid dovetail mounts, and even those shake loose, or you want to spend the money on extra slides or an MOS model or whatnot. And then down the road, you might find you want to get more serious into things, and then a 19 may be a little more suited for your needs because it can kind of do double duty, concealed carry, and it can also sort of work as like a sidearm a little more seriously on a belt rig. So I talked him into a 19. And I was like, you can look at the MOS, or you can just buy whatever 19's on sale and buy slides. There's slides everywhere for the 19 that are already optics cut. It's a little cheaper than finding an optics cut G26 slide. So we ended up, he lives really close to Range USA down where he's at. And he's got a buddy who works at said Range USA. So he got him a cool deal on 19 MOS Gen 5.
Nice.
And that's his baby now. He loves that thing.
So so this friend, he's had, he's a FUD, 4-year-old FUD.
Yeah.
Just because he was never really interested in firearms.
Sure.
He had his dad's guns.
Didn't grow up on Call of Duty or anything.
Didn't really know. Our being 40, we were a little old coming into that whole. Like I have brothers that are close to a decade younger than me. They are the Call of Duty kids. They are, I think they're. Both of them.
We can move this in the garage if this is getting.
I'm good. I'd just be worried about the equipment.
The
yeah,
laptop.
we can definitely move. So we bought him a Shield Plus.
Ooh, good starter.
Yeah, had a Crimson Trace red dot on it, so not great, but
it's something.
Hey, you only need to shoot somebody at 21 feet, right?
True.
And that was fucking. Was that Christmas? Or was that fucking his birthday last year? But he dragged ass, put it in a fanny pack, and was just carrying it like that. So I finally was like, fuck it. I bought him a light. I bought him the TLR 6. The one that fits on the subcompacts.
Mm-hmm.
And then just was like, here's the holster for mine. You hold on to this because I have enough guns with holsters I can conceal carry. Finally, so he was actually carrying it yesterday. I'm like, I'm proud of you, bud.
Concealed?
Yeah.
Was he printing at all?
No.
No, good
he's
for
a
him.
bigger guy. He's
That's
six something.
Yeah.
I can't. I print like fuck.
I do
don't
too.
know why.
I've tried everything. I've gotten to a good point with the Texas Holsters covert line that they have, and I mean the belt that I'm wearing has to be to the point where I almost can't breathe for it not to print. I'm still wearing like a double XL shirt too. I think it's just like I've tried every angle, I've tried every holster. It's just like obviously I have no like overhang. My chest isn't big enough, obviously, which is probably a gym issue for me. But
No, it's a body issue.
yeah, which is fine. I mean, hey, at the end of the day,
Not a body. I mean, it's a genetics thing. It's like it. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I'm a little bit more out front on the top, but not. And then like Spectre Cat, you get a large T-shirt with every can order. That's it. There's only one size. It's large, and I'm like, all right, I'll wear a large, and it's like I'm swimming in this, and it's still I'm like,
doesn't matter.
It looks like I have a firearm.
Yep.
I'm like, it does not matter. I don't know.
And at the end of the day, I think most people aren't even paying attention, so it doesn't really matter. And if they are, oh well. You know?
I was carrying the MP2 compact with the PB3 on top, and the 25 round clip
Big
in it.
stick.
And I went to the pet store. I went to 2 different smoke shops because apparently Breeze mints are going for like $50 a pop.
Hello.
If you can find the Breeze primes,
Yeah.
and for like the original price that they were was like I think like $9 or something, they're going for $24.
Wow.
Out in the rural areas right now.
Interesting.
And just the mints are like hard to find. Everything else is like stocked. Strawberry mint. You want strawberry mint? You can have strawberry
I
mint.
wonder what's driving that.
Tariffs.
No, I didn't
tariffs.
think about that.
They're having
impacting.
I think
vape
they're having an
prices.
issue getting that stuff across the border apparently,
Wow.
or into the country is what I heard that they was being discontinued from one guy at the smoke shop. The other guy at the smoke shop said, no, they just can't. They're having issues getting shit across the border.
That's an economics paper I'd want. Someone working on a degree to write and study. That's crazy.
Terrorist effect on
Vapes,
on vape.
specifically the mint flavors.
I guess the mint flavors like especially out there in the rural areas, like that's everybody has one of those.
There's nothing to do with like vape flavors, but I know when I was in high school and I thought hookah was like the coolest thing ever. I always just did mint flavor. I enjoyed it the most.
What hookah flavor did we get?
A lot of people like the really like tropical breeze sort of fruit punch, you know.
Oh, all the
pineapple,
sticky shit.
Yeah.
God, like the last time I fucking smoked hookah, I think I was 18. So
I bought
would have been
one.
like high school.
I was
after high
such
school,
a regular fixture in one near me, and that mostly had to do with the type of people I went to school with. I bought one. I took it to college. It was a hit. Loved it. And then after college, I think I probably gave it to my brother, and he probably threw it away so he didn't get caught with it. But
yeah, it was all that. Yeah, we went to a place called Bora Bora. It was originally because we wanted to go to Quiznos. I think they had opened the first Quiznos. This is in like fucking Novi. It's off of Grand River. There's a place called Bora Bora. The quiz, it was in a strip.
Yep.
The Quiznos closed by the time we got there because we were a bunch of high-ons. And the internet wasn't what it is today. You couldn't just pull up the hours on your phone.
Google didn't
right?
have
Yeah,
the business profiles.
You had to call those assholes, and we were awkward kids. We didn't call them. We were just going to mob up there. So they were closed. So we were like, all right, well, this place next door is open. Let's go in there. There's nobody. And we were like, we were going to get sandwiches, but this dude's like, oh, we have hookah. And it was like,
can we eat it?
no, but we're going to smoke it. And it was like, didn't ID anybody. And half the people were hookah age.
That's why it was such a huge thing in high school. I know everyone was there. Parents hated it. I'm pretty sure they threw a tracker on my Ford Explorer at one point because I knew I was going there with my friends so much.
Why would they need a tracker if they knew you were going to be there?
Yeah,
to confirm their suspicions.
I think it was just in the back of your head, like you disobeyed so much. Now you have to deal with this, overhang. You've lost your freedom of privacy a little bit, but which is fair. I probably wouldn't want my kid smoking God knows what, but whatever.
Shredded tobacco. I mean, you know what? Probably less chemicals than what the fucking Philip Morris and those assholes are putting in their shit.
It depends on what you read. I know nothing about it, but there are some I know folks who think whatever they coat that shit in to get the flavor, I guess that stuff's pretty fucking awful. And then the volume that you're smoking isn't really great. But what do I know?
I'm not a scientist.
No.
So so gas stations that sell firearms, and massive cones of ice cream, and alcohol.
This is America.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, like 24-pack of Old Smoky little moonshine shots, like within eye shot of the gun counter, and it's like, can I buy a gun and this?
Yep.
Oh, sure.
And then 5 on pump, yeah.
Yeah, 100% is great. So we went. So the sports store we went to just because they had that sale. I had to convince my Fud Bud not to buy $100 worth of ammo and instead buy a lockbox so that he can store his fucking gun. But they also didn't have any like heavy grain or sub rounds for the 9 for the Scorpion, and I wanted to see what. I think the heaviest I put through it was like 146.
Sure.
So we found some sub rounds from Hornady, but it was $1 a round, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
At the outdoor store, those same Hornady rounds, subsonic rounds, were 50 cents a pop.
Yeah.
At the gas station.
Wow.
For 25. I'm like, nah, that's still not a good deal. I'll just get this synthetic, jacketed, 150 some odd grain, 155, 156, something like that. Thunk. Dude, it's so quiet with these synthetic rounds. So quiet.
What brand?
Federal.
Interesting. Okay. And what can do you have on the
Obsidian 9.
Obsidian 9.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I love my Obsidian. I got the 45. It's great.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, just from shooting, so my other buddy, the one who lives out in the Thumb, just from shooting my Obsidian 9, he just off a pistol and bought the Obsidian 45. Yeah. Because he's like, this is great, and then being able to like break it down and the modular into like the K version. So I tested that, and there is definitely some
noticeable on 9mm.
Yeah, shortening it, and if you listen to the J Situation podcast,
I know of it.
The Pew Signs, he
I know
goes
Pew
over
Signs,
it. Yeah, and he was talking about like there is a notable difference from the shooter on the configuration to like the bystander, and whatnot. So
interesting.
It is cool.
I'm surprised with around like 9mm it's that noticeable.
But he was shooting. What was he shooting? He was shooting 9 out of a 45 can, and off of a pistol.
Yep.
It was quieter than the Scorpion. With the dedicated 9 can on it. I don't know why. It was a Glock. But it was 5.3 inch barrel on the Scorpion. I don't know what the Glock is. It was a
Glock the Scorpion 40. Isn't direct impingement, right? It doesn't have like a gas tube or anything.
It's direct. It's blowback.
Yeah.
Direct blowback.
Doesn't make any sense because you'd figure the larger diameter on the 45 can would suppress it less than the tighter one on the 9.
Well, you think you would get flow through because of the diameter difference of the bore, but maybe it's the increased volume of the suppressor allows the gas to burn off more.
It's a head scratcher. I don't know.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, maybe we should have. I don't know.
Because the barrel obviously a lot shorter on the Glock.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you know what? If we would have gotten to that point before it had started to get dark, maybe or next time we'll switch it out. Yeah. I'll throw the 9 on.
Bring the 45 out.
Well, it'll be the same. If we test it on the same host, we should have this. Be able to pick something up. Obviously, we don't have the J Situation type.
No. We'll find some sort of
audio
meter
set up to
on Amazon or AliExpress and try it. But
that one sounds quieter.
Yeah, I will say I went down the because no, I'm not gonna mount them on any pistols. At least wasn't my goal to put the Obsidian 45 on any pistols like handguns. So I went about finding like tri-lugs, like muzzle devices. Found one. So I talked about this briefly, but the Vector barrel is threaded in some unknown sort of thread pattern.
It's not the hub.
No, it's
what is it? Half by 27.
It's shared by. I think it's the only other like known firearm that it shares a thread pattern with. It is like a reverse thread, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing as the UMP 45. It's an identical thread pattern as that. Some company makes an adapter, so it's like another inch of barrel length basically that I had to bring it down to a more standard thread pattern. Then I found a tri-lug that fits that, thread pattern, and then the Rossi 45 lever, also it very well like known. I forget what the actual thread pattern is on that, but it's a well-established one. But for whatever reason, I couldn't find a 45 caliber Obsidian tri-lug in the thread pattern for the Rossi. And so I'm looking. I finally find one. I buy it. It comes in. We go to the range with Cowboy, Quad, and Riz. And as everything's getting set up, I'm going to shoot the Vector first. Awesome, fun, cool. And the lever's sitting there pointing down range. And I'm looking at the muzzle device on it, and I'm like, it looks a little tight. Like the opening, the business end, looks a little small. So I grab around and I put it down the front of it, and it does not clear. I go, this is definitely a 9mm muzzle device. Like, thank fuck I took a peek at that before I went ahead and sent something down it, because that would have been unfortunate. But
45-70 down it?
Yeah. Which, honestly, I'm surprised that, like, at least in the lever action, the 16-inch barrel configuration, it's a gentle round. I was surprised.
Really?
Yeah. I was
It's a straight wall,
myself.
right? It's a straight wall cartridge?
Yeah. I was bracing myself for that thing to kick my shoulder out, and I was like, oh, my shitty 308, AR-10 blows my shoulder out 10 times more than this. But and then I saw Micah Mayfield's video of the little Derringer pistol 45-70 in that house breaking wrists. I was like, okay, well, I think anything in that small of a configuration is gonna fuck you up. But
yeah, like a 500. 500. The 500 Magnum out of a revolver. Why? For what? It's the purpose.
Watching people like point the business end back at their head after they shoot it because of the recoil on that is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, you need an anchor point in the ground and then tether it to that strap. That's the the strap ring that's on there. The sling mount.
Smoke check. How's yours behaving?
Good. I don't know if it was because a little bit of moisture and whatnot, but I did have to
subpar conditions.
It was canoeing a little bit. But no, this is great. There's a lot of good flavor to it. It's burning well.
What are you getting flavor-wise, would you say?
Brown sugar, or like a molasses, which I really like. Yeah. But it's lighter.
It is a lighter, more mild stick, I found.
A little bit of cedar. That's all I'm picking up right now.
Yeah, no. I don't know if it was my palate was just nuked for the day, or maybe it didn't sit in the humidor long enough and your palate's probably more refined than mine is. But I didn't get much out of that one. I didn't really like that one too much.
Flavor-wise?
Yeah, it was just there for me. I smoked, I think I was grilling one day, and I was like, yeah, it's all right.
I could see that. I definitely wouldn't. It's not the most flavorful stick.
Sure, but that's not a bad thing either, especially on like a hot day. Sometimes you don't want to get blown out of the water by a bold cigar.
Yeah. I'm not a big bold cigar kind of a guy. I prefer them, and you know what? I was looking at those nubbies and just get the big bolder cigars and just get a nubby, and then I only have 4 fucking inches of this, so I won't be blown
Which
out
is big
by
to
the
some
end
people.
of it. It's massive.
Huge.
It's more than enough.
No, I contemplate about buying those nubs all the time because they're so highly rated. They collab with, Oliva and like other big brands to make them. But they're more expensive than like really well established like nice Robustos sometimes. I'm like, paying more for less seems kind of odd to me. Yeah. So I get right up to the point where I'm about to check out. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like,
They have so many though.
Yeah.
Their selection is
And they're all
so
rated
big for them. Yeah.
stupid well. But if you're ever in Detroit, La Casa, that cigar lounge down there, they have their own brand called 20 Minutes in Detroit, and it's similar concept.
Okay.
Shorter cigars, and they're pretty good, and they're
Nice.
pretty affordable. I do like that place. It's a cool place, good cigars. So if you're ever floating around there, definitely scoop some of those. Same effect as the Nub, and it's local and it's cheaper.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah. I forgot how I heard about
Grab
them.
a few of them.
My girlfriend at the time that had told me to check it out, and I walked down there, and person behind the counter, definitely Hispanic descent, no English. I was like, okay, this place it's legit.
La Casa?
This is gonna be a good lounge, yeah.
Definitely.
There's like the place in New Orleans rolling cigars. There's a bunch of Dominican dudes just behind the counter, hand rolling them right there. Everyone can see. It was awesome.
Really?
It was great.
Now, how many different cigars did they have? Were they carrying anybody else's
Yes.
cigars?
Yep. Their humidor, obviously, the first thing you see when you walk in is the wall of just their stuff, and they'll walk you through. They'll try to sell you their stuff, which is fine. I wanted to try their stuff when I was there, but like probably 75% of the humidor is like other brands too. But they have a website, so you can see everything they're making on their website, and it's still pretty affordable on the website. You know, nothing's really over that $10, $12 range. Most are in the 8 and 9, which is sort of what I like to hang out in anyways. So I'm a fan. I like these a lot.
So, I just got an ad this morning for cigar glue. The only reason I say that is that
I've heard
one
of this, yeah.
My outer leaf is cracking a little bit out here. But like, I haven't looked up cigars on my phone in months, I think. And like the only time I think we talk about it, I think, is through our group chat.
Mhm.
So I don't know why Instagram's like.
Do you buy them
need
online?
this?" No. The only
Oh,
ones
then
I
I
bought,
don't
the only
know.
ones I bought online have been the Tobac
Sure.
and a My Cigar pack.
Yeah.
I got and that's it.
Interesting.
And then just I think just the ashtrays.
My only other guess is maybe you follow enough cigar accounts for it to impact something down the line. I don't know. But cigar glue is that's a pretty like niche thing in the cigar world. Feel like to be brought up in an ad.
Yeah, well, because it's in a fucking pen, right? So like, I
Interesting.
have some in my humidor but it's blunt glue. I got it from a head shop because I got it from the smoke shop, but like in the cigar section, there's nothing, right?
Well,
you know,
yeah,
they've got like
yeah.
they've got the little humidor packs and whatnot, and they've got all the other stuff, the cutters and the torches and all this stuff, and I'm like, hey, man, I gotta glue like a crack in my cigar, and the guy's like,
Probably work the same.
he's like, oh, here's this this blunt glue, and it's made from like sugar and whatnot. And
About
I'm like,
to ask, yeah.
I'm like, perfect, fine. That's because that's probably what that cigar glue is. I'm
Yeah.
like, it works. It works well
Interesting.
enough, I guess.
You know what? That would be really useful. I know with like draw tools, I've poked right through a cigar doing one of those, and I've had to do the thing where I have to almost smoke it like a pipe, or got to cover the hole I just poked while I smoke it. I wonder if that would resolve some of that.
Yeah. So I bought it because one of the Doom sticks was cracked.
Those are great. I do love those.
And I was like, and it's like cracked like well enough up that I don't want to clip. Just if it's like a half inch in, fucking I'll clip it to that point and light it. But I was like, nah. And so I waited until I smoked it, put it on pretty thick, but I didn't have any issues. It did burn a little hotter there. So I don't know.
I guess you'd expect that.
Because there's sugars
Yeah.
to caramelize or something on it, but other than that, and I just mean in that it canoed on that side.
Yeah.
So didn't ruin it. Didn't taste like anything. Because I was like, what's it taste like?
Yeah, that would be my first. I'd be waiting to get some hit of sweetness or something, maybe.
Cool.
Good to know, though. I'd look into that.
Did you go out to the range yesterday?
I did not.
No.
I was planning on doing it. I had even like the whole course of fire thing printed out, so I was going to plan like round counts and everything to bring. And then the lady had the day off, so I was like, you know what? because she works on the weekends. So I was like, get the day off on a Saturday. I'll take that day to stay home and relax and just have a chill day. So
You guys just hung around the house.
hung around the house. Yeah, farmers market.
Did you walk?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. We walk if we're staying around this area. We've walked. Like we walk a lot. Like that's why her car boxes mine in mostly. Like I'll take the bike if it's like longer than that. But we walk so much now, and part of that's from her living in for so long. 'Cause you walk everywhere basically. I like it. It's nice.
Well, I mean, it's set up for people to move about instead of for automobiles to move about, right?
Right, but even when I was like living alone, like down the street, I'd drive to the coffee shop. I just drive to get groceries. And I was like, it's less than half a mile away. It's just habit. But walking is so much nicer.
Yeah, maybe you'll get a pedal bike.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I know some guys who actually pedal bike to work, and they live farther than I do from.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
I'm not sure I'd be cool like
so
sweating that much heading into the office, but some guys don't mind it.
They're probably the spandex crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you start wearing spandex to bike around, you've crossed a line.
You haven't crossed that line yet?
No. My wife is, but my wife's been a lifelong bicyclist and
like my dad.
And a bicycle courier when she was in DC. So yeah, she's.
Oh wow.
She's done century rides and.
What does she say about like? I guess riding in Michigan. Michigan like?
Michigan sucks.
Yeah.
Michigan sucks.
Yeah.
It's getting better, I guess.
Okay.
And she was on the board for the League of Michigan Bicyclists.
Oh, wow.
For a while, just because she was so passionate about bringing bicycle transportation into, especially more like here,
sure,
these areas where because it's bad, but Michigan has never been set up versus
That's what I've heard, yeah.
like Boston and DC, not really set up for cars.
Fair, yeah, no, that's true.
It's the streets are super tight. They're not, there's a lot of weird like round, and they're not roundabouts, but they're like rounded, curved roads that go in directions that don't make any sense for city planning. This is not the most efficient route to get there, but that's just how we built it.
It's the way someone's horse went, and now it's a road. 100%. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot different. Michigan does have a lot of scenic bike routes that are along 2-lane main roads in a lot of rural areas and whatnot that aren't the greatest, I would imagine, but I don't cycle, but you see cyclists out there all the time.
That's what my dad would, because around their house there's a lot of those sort of twisty winding roads, a lot of trees, main roads, because you got to drive a little bit to get to a freeway or a highway from where they're at.
Yeah.
And so he would just always ride on those main roads, and he would always tell me it's brutal. Drivers hate it. The roads aren't the best, and it's beautiful, but because he grew up he lived in I think most of the 50 states. Spent most of his time I think in his early adult life on the East Coast though, and he'll tell you that was the best, and far West Coast as well. But he's it's brutal here. At least where he's at.
It's because America was never a bicycle country.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a bicycle country because bicycles have been around a lot longer, but it was never this is a modes of transportation, right? And I don't know if Europe ever developed their cities in city planning isn't my hobby or an interest, but just in the fact that the cities are older and then built tighter, which prohibits automobiles from going down certain roads, but bicycles from not. But then you do have countries you have what's the Netherlands, Denmark, where Germany, bicycle riding is massive. There's a lot, and so some of the newer cities are built up with just that in mind and no automobile traffic, right? Which is great. because, in downtown doesn't need fucking roads going through it.
No.
No, one, maybe one.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be through like the downtown center.
Yeah, agreed.
Here we go.
Dicko Dow's used to be one of my favorite places to go.
Wow, yeah, So
And Dicko Dow's is
what they did to that place is the Irish should car bomb that place
100%
for what they did to that. Like, it was, I'm not saying it was like a real Irish pub because it was in Birmingham, but like it still had a nice dingy dark feel.
It was wood.
Yep.
It was wood, brass, a brass
Yep.
rail. It was I mean,
Now it feels like an Apple store collided with it.
that disco-esque European style of fucking bar. Yeah.
Literally, it looks like the multiverses got like stuck together, and it's like this new sort of like bright lights with like white painted walls, but they still have some of the old wood furniture and the old wood bar. Everything seems so out of place there.
I walked in and turned around and was like,
Yeah.
"This is not my Dicko Dow's."
I go to like the Dow, like the beer exchange in the back every now and then. I don't mind that. That place is fine on its own, but the quote unquote Irish pub that used to be there is.
You used to be able to get a full Irish breakfast.
Yep.
Dicko Dow's, a proper pint of Guinness, and it was nice. It was in fucking Birmingham, No. So now, I don't want to give location away, but Cowley and Sons is still as authentic as I remember it.
Where's that at?
Farmington.
I'll take his name out, obviously, but okay, gotcha. Interesting.
You could
I
probably
don't think I've been there.
No?
No.
It's not a huge fucking... And then, O'Mara's is...
Yep.
I've spent hundreds of dollars at O'Mara's. One St. Pat's, I don't know how I got stuck with the better part of like a $600 bill.
Oh,
Fucking chipmunk. Ballsy little fucker.
it's gonna lose her mind. She loves that stupid chipmunk. It's funny. So she has, like, you probably saw on the fence, that little stupid picnic table thing. Like, she feeds the chipmunks with that because she loves it. She had it up front because she saw two of them running around up front one day. And we have a couple plants up there. I have an aloe plant that's just dead now. I don't know what happened. It was inside. Half it was dying as I moved it outside. Then it just completely died. But the plant's up there, and those chipmunks from running around doing shit drop seeds or whatever, and now there's all sorts of stuff blowing up out of that pot because of those stupid things. But
because we have so many veggies, we do not like chipmunks.
no, that's what I told her, because I've seen him. You can see sort of where that weather stripping has been chewed through.
Yep.
I've seen him come into this garage. I'm like, the second I start seeing things in the engine or wires getting chewed, that chipmunk's about to be pink mist.
I've never seen that. I mean, we do have cats, and
Oh yeah.
my one cat, my old cat, he will slaughter, and
Good.
then we thought the 3-year-old would, but every time that we've seen her with one, she's playing with it. One time she played. I don't know if the chipmunk was playing back, but she would chase it, like pin it down. She'd be like, "I'm out of breath from chasing you for so much."
Yeah.
She's like, and this thing would just sit there, also like hyperventilate and catch its breath, and then they would go. They would go about it. For like the better part of a fucking hour. It's
An
just
orca playing with her food.
Yeah, I don't like. Kill the fucking thing and be over with it. Stop playing with it. No, she let it get away. This thing's hopping about, doing backflips, trying to fight her off, and she's just like, no.
That's
So
hilarious.
she
I've
just wants to
heard
be
he's
friends.
a little killer too. I
Yeah,
guess
he's
he's
a
killed
little
a couple
ratter.
chipmunks, a couple birds. I don't believe it, but I guess she's seen it.
I watched my black lab take a bird out of mid-flight, a robin, and I was like, wow,
Nice.
when? How? you chase squirrels and that's it. I've never seen you catch anything.
You can't catch a ball when I throw it to
no,
you. Yeah.
no. Could catch a frisbee. They don't retrieve very well. Black
No.
labs, man. I don't know what it is about them. They're not the brightest, but they're lovable as fuck.
No, yeah, right after I saw a chipmunk into the garage, it was right after I did the oil on this thing. And when I started the car up to move it, to pull it out, to start working on it, there was a wicked smell. Like, from the inside, I was like, what is that? I popped the hood and like flies come out. I was like, okay, something died in here. I couldn't find it. I'm in there for a light. I'm taking things out, looking around. Can't find it. So I change the oil and I take it onto the freeway here and I just gun it. Hopefully something shakes loose or flies out of it. And it did. It's gone. The flies are gone. It doesn't smell anymore. But I was like, if that happens again, I'm assuming it's another chipmunk or something, and it's no longer getting into the garage anymore after that.
Yep. Suppress 22.
Yeah, I do. Might find a gunsmith to thread the barrel on Guy Fieri's pistol and throw a can on it.
Oh, speaking of, yeah, it brings me back to the Vector. Can you just switch the barrel out on that? Or is it like some sort of proprietary barrel?
I don't know if anyone makes barrels
for the
the
Chris.
Vector.
I mean, it's nothing I've ever looked
They
into.
might, but yeah, same. I'd never even bothered to really look into that. I'd imagine someone probably does. But I'm really looking forward to is that force reset trigger that's getting developed for it.
I thought the Scorpion was done. But
If there's a full auto option for it.
Micah did that video on that receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's on the fucking list.
I thought, the Vector was done for me too after I printed the handguard and I got the suppressor on there. I was like, it's good. It's in a good spot. Because I know there's a binary for it, but it's real primitive. There's no option to just do single fire with it. It's either safety or it's double tap. I was like, I don't want that. And then some I think Quad shared the video of, I forget, they're changing their name because I think they got into some legal heat after a lot of influencers they gave their trigger to post videos and test it with. I think another company that does an FRT trigger, big name, I think, that caught their attention. So they shut down all their socials, they shut down everything and sent out an email saying, we're rebranding, we're changing our name. The Raptor trigger, which is what it's called, is still coming out. But it looks fucking excellent.
And it's a FRT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To make 250, I think they said. Which is up there, but the only ones I know who are doing it, so.
Just 250?
Yeah.
That's not bad. Isn't the fucking the patented FRTs going for like 500 right now?
The
for something?
For ARs.
Yeah.
You can buy a Franklin Army for like 3, I think, like the newest generation, which is the 3 position. And then you can get it for
Who's
free.
the company that did the Quad and Quad and Xander are always good about.
Oh, D's Nuts Tactical.
Shit. Is that
They're one of them. You can buy those for sub 2 though.
Really?
Yeah, it's Franklin
The one
Army.
who
I'm
owns
talking
the
binary
patent for the FRT.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was a company, and that's the only reason that they is because it's patented. They're the only ones who are allowed to make it, and that's
Interesting.
why it was passed in the courts as not being machine gun or some shit. There's going to be
I'm not aware.
clones.
Oh yeah, and because I know D's Nuts is the only name coming to mind. Funny enough, but depending on the material and the finish you get, like I've seen them sub 2.
Well, I want one for the Scorpion now.
Yeah.
Put that aluminum
drum
receiver
mag.
back on it. I ran the drum mag and was side firing.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
folding
Bump
the angle.
firing it, yeah.
I was also hip firing that Keltec
Oh really?
quite manageably.
You bump fire the Keltec?
I didn't bump fire it, but
Oh.
I was hip fire. I was firing it from here. I was walking towards the target, hip firing, and I was keeping it on steel. So
What load? Buck?
just target rounds.
Okay.
Probably that's why is
Yeah.
I'm not putting buck down. But it's what I brought out because my Fud bud he's got a trench shotgun.
That's badass.
Yeah, nostalgic.
Yes.
Yeah, with the trench sights on it and everything.
Oh fuck yeah. Any tally marks on it?
I don't know, probably not. But he's always wanted me to bring it out, and I just never brought it out because it's just unwieldy.
Mm-hmm.
But now that the long range gun's taller than it is, I'm like, fuck
yeah.
it.
Well, what's another couple inches, you know?
Well, I used to just throw everything into one of those black and yellow crates because everything,
yeah.
all the other, the SPR and the Scorpion fit. So fuck it, that's what was coming out.
Yep.
But now everything fits into my Pelican Vault
Yep.
2-gun case, which is massive and unwieldy, and also has that weird cross hatching on it.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking can't stand. But I can fit pistol, the shotgun, the long range AR, and the Scorpion
Damn,
all into
okay.
that fucking box. And
Worth
then
it.
yeah, 100%. It's now a 4-gun.
It's got rollers too.
It has one roller, yeah,
Nice.
one set of rollers on it. It's
Cool.
pretty good, but it doesn't. I live on a hill, and so like I have to go down the stairs and be like dunk 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 dunk, and then there's no, the driveway is non-existent because it's also up the hill. There's there's no good way, so I just suitcase everything out the fucking front door. I'm looking forward to moving out into like the UP, hopefully.
What's the time horizon on that?
Ideally, we'd be fully moved in by 27.
Nice. Yeah, the particular part of the UP you don't have to share, obviously, but
Oh no, it's fine. Marquette,
nice.
south of Marquette, just because it's a college town, right? So there's a lot of college town vibes. It's also like the largest city in the UP, so it's got everything that we would want in, we're not getting any younger, so being close to medical.
Sure.
I did find a place about an hour away from Marquette that looked great. 29 acres. I think I might have sent it into the chat and told Xander
Maybe.
to buy it.
Yeah.
It had the range with
Yes,
the covered
yes.
with the covered 2-person bench, and I was like, it's almost exactly what we're looking for.
There you go.
My wife nixed it because it's an hour away from Marquette.
Yeah.
And I was like,
okay.
for the price of what it would cost you to buy right now, you would get a property in Grand Marais, which is right around Pitcher Rocks. It's
Yep,
the start or end of Pitcher Rocks. And then I've got this 28 acres. Like, I was like, this house is decent, but we want to be a little closer to
that's
Marquette. I
fair.
guess.
I get that. I flip flop every now and then. I'm like, put me out there as long as I got like land or whatever, it'll be cool. And then I'm like, oh, actually, you know what? Being able to like go grab something in a bit of a quick trip would be nice too.
That is, because like hanging out in the thumb, it's like there's the closest thing is probably 15 minutes away, and it's a Family Dollar,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right? And then it's another 5-7 minutes to a gas station, which has everything. Once you start getting into the rural areas,
Including guns. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So there is that, and growing up in cities and suburbs, never really spending a lot of time out in rural. I do like being able to like walk.
Yeah.
Convenience is a little thing. So yeah, but you could be outside of Marquette by 25 minutes and be middle of fucking nowhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it depends on the week. If you ask me which one I prefer.
Yes. Growing up as a kid, I'd be like, there's no way I could not have concrete underneath my
Same,
feet.
yeah.
But now I'm like, I don't need concrete underneath my
Yeah.
feet. I just need to not see so many fucking people.
No, yeah, that's where I mean, the neighbors here are really nice, but like it's just I don't want to have to like listen to people if I don't want to listen to them. If it's like peace and quiet, I don't want to be like looped into like the neighborhood block parties all the time.
100%. So I had spent about a week up in Marquette. And I took one of my nephews shooting.
Nice.
So it was not his first time because
Good.
his dad's family live in Minnesota, in rural Minnesota.
You're shooting
So-
something.
Yeah. So he's shot before, but not what I brought, right? So
These guns are from the future.
100%. Yeah, they're all plastic.
Yeah.
He shot really well for a kid who
Nice.
genuinely was his first time shooting, who had about, I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes of me screaming, not really screaming, but like strongly suggesting firearm safety rules to him. And once we got out there, I went over the manual arms for each thing and whatnot. But getting out there, holy shit. So, I had planned this out because his mom had said, hey, if you want to take him shooting, you can. I'm like, fuck, let's go. So I find this range. There's like one picture. I can kind of make it out on satellite view of Earth, Google Maps, whatever. We are actually starting to drive to find this place. And you gotta take some dirt roads to get to some power lines. And then you have to drive the power lines until you get to another 2-track. And you have to take this 2-track in. I'm like, sweet. Got the 4Runner. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right? We're rocking hardcore because he's just discovered hardcore. So we're jamming out.
We're learning a lot today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Turning him onto a bunch of shit. He listened to Gorilla Biscuits for the first time. He listened to a bunch of shit. We're driving, and the 2-track's just getting more overgrown and more narrow. And I'm like, it's a berm in the forest, right? But it looks like it's at least 50 or 100 yards from the one photo that's there with benches. It looks like it's got like 2 or 3 benches.
So it's
I'm
not
like,
just a hill in the middle of the woods. It's
no, I thought it was
somewhat
something.
developed.
We
Okay.
never found it. So I'm like, fuck it, we're going, right? I'm in the 4Runner, and I'm like, we're just going to push through until we either find it or we get to a point where we have to turn around. We get to this, like, T intersection, and down one end is this lake. Maybe 300 yards off of the 2-track. So I'm like, fine. I'm like, stay here. I'm going to go check out what's just around this bend. It like curves around, S curves around for like maybe like 50 yards to like a collapsed cabin, and then just completely overgrown to the point where like you couldn't even see the 2-track anymore. You can make out that there is a 2-track there, but you just couldn't see it. I'm like, all right, fuck it, we're going to shoot into the woods, I guess. So I found a berm at some point in time. So this was a modified road or something. No, there was like going to the lake, they had bulldozed something because there was very clearly what looked like bulldoze had pushed dirt like up and out of the way, and in a few spots. So I had bought a little like swinging gong target at a
gas station,
gun store up there. No, L&M Fleet Supply, which is like a Tractor Supply, but they sell guns.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of wood furniture stuff and whatnot.
Sure.
But so we got out. We popped off. I had less than, I think we emptied a magazine of the Scorpion, less than a magazine out of the long range gun, and 1 round out of the handgun, because the second that we got out of that car, you're just. I'm wearing shorts.
Covered.
I'm wearing shorts and shorts and a tank top, and there's just mosquitoes, black flies, just everywhere. So it's like, shoot fast.
Yeah,
But
let's get out of here.
yeah, I can get out of there. So it was just, so there's a great opportunity for anybody to invest in a modern like firearms store, because there aren't a lot. That L&M had some like modern platforms and whatnot, and then when I say like the guns are brand new, but wood furniture, very much hunting, a lot of shotguns,
Yeah.
a lot of bolt actions and whatnot. So like somebody up there in the UP bought some land, set up a decent range, because you get fucking couple hundred acres and fucking set up a like a MTC.
Yep.
Where you have varied ranges and whatnot, and then put like a modern firearms store, because everything else is just like outfitters.
Sure.
It's guns, it's rod and reel type
Yep.
of stuff. So I was just talking about that last night with my two buddies. I was like, just go up there and open
No-brainer, that's
a
what we're
modern,
gonna do.
because there's not even the indoor ranges are few and far between too.
I'm sure, yeah.
And pistol, that's it. Because probably everybody has their own backyard range. up
That's
there.
fair, yeah. Probably, yeah. No, when you have the land, why pay to use the indoors?
Well, yeah, 100%. Just got to figure out some way to pick up brass, because
Oh yeah,
picking brass up out of the grass
sucks.
Yeah, it's
I've
hard
seen
to
some of those
find
rollers that'll scoop it up. I don't know how well they work though.
shit.
Not well.
I was looking into it. I was looking into it for my buddy's place, just because he's like, yeah, I find them with the lawnmower.
That's what whenever we go to our the guy who does concrete for my dad, whenever we go to his backyard to shoot, we're always on like our hands and knees picking up as much as possible. Because one, we don't want him obviously leave shit in his backyard, but two, we don't want him to ruin any of his equipment.
Live round.
Oh yeah, that too. That would be unfortunate.
One of the times we were out there,
Smack a
was-
live round.
yeah, that's what we probably spent a better part of an hour looking for a live round on the grass.
That's fine.
9mm, so I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
still, I don't want to pick it up with the ride-on mower blade.
I do wonder if someone makes like almost like a attachment for the back of like a ride-on mower that can scoop that brass up. 'Cause I feel like that'd be an opportunity for all these outdoor ranges at least. Like, I wonder how they scoop up brass.
For a shovel?
I guess, but I mean, it's still. I mean, there's going to be a manual part of the process no matter what. I think there's no way to ensure you're just getting brass if you're.
I mean,
doing that,
they do make brass like mowers that
Yeah,
will like pick
yeah.
it up, but it just like, how are you not picking up if your other
Right.
shit? Rocks,
exactly
grass, sticks.
dead animals. The chipmunk I shot yesterday.
But he has chickens and ducks. And the ducks are cool. The ducks just do duck shit.
Yeah.
The rooster, he's got this one big ass rooster. He's a cocksucker. We were just hanging out. We're shooting. His range is out his back door, which is amazing, right? It's the life. You know, coffee. Bing, bing, bing. Just
Yeah.
pop off a few suppressed shots in the morning. That's all I need. I'm
That's
good
what
to
I
go
would
to work.
love. That'd be great.
Chickens are out free ranging, whatever. You know, they fuck off when we start shooting. You know, some of the dumb ones might like come in and it's like
I've
range
seen
range
turkeys
cold.
do that.
Oh yeah.
They've walked right across us when we've been shooting at the guy's place one time. Like, I heard them on the walkers. I heard some turkeys like, oh, that's funny. And sure enough, like the whole like 3-4 of them just walked right down the firing line. I was like, you guys are crazy.
You're lucky it's not fucking season.
And
You know, it's like a fucking
so I think
slaughtered
there's like
grasses.
two schools of thought. I think some people think turkeys are really just fucking stupid, and then I think the superstitious hunters will go, well, they're smart enough to know they're not in season. That's why they did it. And I'm like, I don't know.
No, I mean, it's Ben Franklin said that we should have had the
Turkey
turkey
as
as
yeah.
the nation's bird. Speaking of national birds, and we were talking about like what he does. You know, his like predator hunting up there. One of their favorite chickens got taken out by a bald eagle,
No shit.
and there's nothing you can do.
Can't do dig about
Can't
that.
do
no.
dick about that.
No.
Yep, got taken out by America's shittiest bird.
I'm surprised an eagle went for the chicken. Nothing a little more low hanging.
Well, I mean, they're scavenger birds, so I'm surprised
Right,
that they
yeah.
wouldn't have just like plopped out on some roadkill or some shit.
a
And
dead fish or
actually,
something, yeah.
But they're opportun. They're all scavengers are opportunistic.
I mean,
Predators.
hawk,
So-
sure, I can see a hawk doing it, but
Yeah, on a live one.
Yeah.
dropping down on a live one for sure. Yeah, but no, he said he watched it and he said the exact same thing. He said because he said his wife was like
Pissed.
really like she was not happy that this bird was taken. It was her favorite, and he's like, I would have shot anything else. He's like, if it wasn't a bald eagle.
because you don't know if they're tagged or anything.
Well, you don't want to have to fucking deal with it's a fucking bald eagle.
I know,
Like,
I know.
now you have to burn everything because you can't get caught with the body.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking, you might as well
Which is- and this
you're
is
better off
gonna-
having a meth lab.
I know it's gonna bother a lot of people, but like, I think that is stupid. I think you should be able to.
Well, they're shitty birds. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be the national bird anyway.
I mean, if they're not
Bald
endangered,
eagle.
like, go nuts, I think, if they're coming after your property.
Only reason it's a national bird is because we stole it from the fucking Indians, the
Yeah,
indigenous
yeah.
people of America. We
They can
stole
still
it
hunt
from
them for
them.
now, at least.
What's that?
They can still hunt them for now, I know.
Well, they're the only ones who are allowed to
law
be in possession. You can't even be in possession
Right.
of a bald eagle feather.
Yeah, that's
and
what it is.
indigenous
I don't
people
think they
are.
can hunt them, but yeah, they can have the feathers.
in
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's the only reason that whoever it was who decided it was going to be that was because it was so revered by the indigenous people. And
Dude.
instead, we could have had turkeys.
Should have been turkey. Would have loved a hawk. I think hawks are way more badass.
I would have taken the Canadian geese. It should be the American geese. That motherfucking cobra
Yeah,
chicken.
why did Canada get geese? Why is it their bird?
Because they like a good Donnybrook. So does the Canadian goose.
I
You want
do.
to take the instead of the Gulf. We should have been fighting for the American goose instead of the Gulf of America.
Yes. But I mean, thinking of any bird that sort of acts like America, hawk I think is fitting because we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want. But geese too, we'll just roll up on anyone's lawn, shit all over it, and then leave it worse than we found it. I mean, the goose would have been
100%.
perfect.
100% the
And then if you-
spirit of America.
If you chase it after them, they're gonna get up on their hind legs and hiss and flap their wings at you like you're the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Should have been the goose should have been the bird.
We need to make a
Petition.
change.org petition.
Maybe the American
White
goose. We'll
House.
start with that because we need to have that in our back pocket. Then we can make the push because no one's gonna accept the Canadian goose as the country's bird.
No.
And what it's like, I know there's Canadian geese. What do you call like just like the?
Do you think
the
Mexico
white or
calls
the
them Canadian
gray?
geese too? Or do you think they're just
Probably.
geese?
They're just gringo geese are all the same probably to them. Doesn't matter. You all look the same to me.
I'm sorry. All right. So what was your thought? I cut you off.
So like I know the typical Canadian goose. What do we call the geese that are like just white or gray with the orange beak? Are those just English geese? Traditional geese?
That's a good question.
I don't know. The common goose?
Could be. Yeah.
So even when I was in
Could be
Germany,
a-
I mostly saw Canadian geese or
Could be a
Canadian looking geese.
Could be a duck. Could be a very large duck. Peking ducks are pretty fucking big.
That's true. Oh, what was that? The mandarin duck. Those are cool looking birds. Saw some of those in Germany. Those are sweet.
Look at like clowns.
Yeah,
And all,
they look like
different-
Donald Trump. They got the little
They do have the
swoop
little
with,
the
red
like
beak.
orangish, yeah, the orangish yellow
like,
swoop on the
It's a
top.
Trump duck.
Oh boy, it's a good thing that we don't have them here. Although I think we might.
It would be just as illegal to hunt those as it is to hunt eagles if we did have them here.
100%.
Which honestly, I heard someone had a great take, sort of proving my point about it doesn't really matter if or who you vote for in an election, because if I wanted to increase the government deficit, if I wanted to increase our involvement in foreign wars, if I wanted to suppress the Epstein list, and if I wanted to make things any less affordable, you would have voted for Kamala. But all that's still happening anyways, so it doesn't fucking matter who you voted for, because you're getting the exact opposite of what you voted for anyways. Like it's so stupid.
No, it's 100% it is true, and it's because it's two wings of the same fucking bird, man.
Exactly. Oh. Brave motherfucker.
Bro, he's gonna come out here and fucking try and get one of these donuts. And fucking working the courage up.
He came right around that corner and he froze like, oh shit.
The human's not gonna do anything. He leaves his woman leaves treats for me.
Yeah. If I die, he dies too. She has things in place to ensure my safety.
Yeah, no, we have to, because I don't know, man. Everybody who voted to block the Epstein files getting out, and I've heard the argument that there are way too many people in positions of authority who, control the levers of society for it to get out.
Yeah.
Who
'Cause, like,
cares?
we're-
We'll we'll improvise, we'll overcome. We'll adapt to whatever it is that happens. But like these people, this can't be something that just gets swept under their rug and goes on.
And this, like, obviously the focus is like on elected officials, if you will. But there's a whole group of unelected people who've probably been in government their entire lives that we'll never know about or have never heard of, who are also involved in making sure it doesn't come out. And I think as much as it does suck, it's good for folks who are sort of in our little black mass sort of sphere, because I think it's disillusioned a lot of people who still had some faith. And it's not a meaningful amount by any means, because there's still most people who believe the news cycle and that, there's really nothing in the list, because Trump said and the news said there's nothing in the list, so it's not worth releasing. But I do think it disillusioned quite a bit, and it pissed a lot of people off. I've seen a lot of people who were very pro-Trump now going, what the fuck is happening?
I did see a take on it that said that if Trump wasn't in the list, that he would have merch.
Turn this a little bit. Nothing crazy, just
that if Trump wasn't on the list, that he would have merch with that would exonerate him. He'd be like, I'm not in the list. He'd
Homie
have
made a shirt with his mugshot on it. You're right.
He made a shirt with his mugshot on it like the same day.
He made 2 shirts actually.
When he got shot in the ear, or maybe got shot in the ear, he had merch out the same day. Like he would have taken advantage of the fact that he's not in. Motherfucker would be if he knew who was in the list, he would be, and he probably is. He'd be blackmailing motherfuckers who he knows are on the list.
I saw a great tweet. There are more pictures of Trump with Epstein than there are me with my grandparents. Like, there's no way.
Saw that,
like, come on.
And that's there are more
now, does that
photos of those two than me and my grandma.
Yeah, does that say something about maybe I should be more willing to take pictures with my loved ones? Sure, but also that is absurd. And then, the argument to that is, well, someone like Epstein just, like, rolled around in those circles. And I'm like, well, then that says something about those circles then, motherfucker. Like, that's not an okay reason to pass that off. Like,
especially considering, the...
I don't think anyone who was ever photoed with Hitler that much was like, oh, they just rolled in the same circles.
Right, yeah. No, yeah. They all liked Austrian art for some reason.
Really shitty art.
But yeah, it's, and there's been an entire political side of the spectrum who have been, everybody is anti-child rape vocally, right? But there's a whole side that is very vocal. The pre-thoughts protest too much, kind of over vocal of it. And you would think that they would be the ones... The Party of Law and Order and Family Values would be the ones to push to have all this released, because let's feed them to a wood chipper, right? Yeah. All these conservative macho men love to rock their kill your local pedophile,
yep, exactly.
Feed them to a wood chipper, hang them from a fucking tree.
Here's your chance.
But I don't see it.
Nope.
Versus, you know what? We are of a black flag caste. I don't care who's in that fucking file. If Alton Brown, Bob Ross, and Mr. Rogers are on the fucking list, good, fucking hang them. I mean, I know we're missing.
Exactly.
We only have the chance to hang one of them, but yeah, anybody who visited Epstein Island,
who didn't speak out about it.
Anybody, exactly. Who hasn't. This is what I fucking saw. Feed them to a wood chipper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Regardless of what color their party is. Yeah.
Yep.
It just human decency, you would think, right? I mean, children are innocent, and it doesn't matter who you are. This is an unacceptable...
For the party that would go to such lengths for so many decades to, be so pro-life and get rid of, abortion and all that stuff, like... This should be right up there with you, man, because this should be more of a priority to you, honestly, because it just goes so deep, it's so entrenched in, the very system that you're trying to use to vote in your own personal beliefs, about, like, abortion and whatnot through your faith and whatnot. Like, the people who are making those decisions for you are directly implicated in this, and, like, it impacted children who are actually, like, alive and ruined so many lives. Like, this should be a bigger priority for you, and then it's just like, it's just going to get swept.
I'll say it once, I'll say it again until I die. Anybody who seeks a position of power should be denied it profusely.
Absolutely.
You know, it might not be the best way of going about it, but a fucking random lotto of you get to lead the, you know, here, and it's not just one person. Here, you 7 get to make a communal vote, right? 7, so that you can have a tie break, and you get to make, you know, the decision that's best, and you change it up. Maybe it's every 4 years, maybe it's every 2 years or something. Unfortunately, I think that you would end up getting ill-informed people who would end up in a position like that.
I don't see an issue with that, though.
I guess you know, the randomness of it would kind of give you a buffer of, I mean, you can't have completely, I mean, I am arguing for a political hierarchy here as an anarchist, so I guess that's not the greatest look, but
No, I know what you're getting at, though.
I'm trying to figure out some form of
That doesn't bring about, like, immense suffering, yeah.
because it's the games, it's a game, and it's played by people who want to taste of power because they want to be able to hold it over others. Even everybody who says that they you know, they're, I would like to see Mamdani, and if he gets elected, what he becomes as a politician, being a socialist Democrat. But you look at Bernie, you look at AOC, you look at the progressive leftists that are supposed to be in the Democratic Party, and they're not. Mm-hmm. You know, they're all beholden to some form of corporate interest.
Yep.
You know, who really represents the people? Is the country really moving in a direction that is beneficial, that is most beneficial to its people? I don't think it has been in
only for the
decades.
government and those who are pumping more money into the government. Those are the only people winning right now.
It's the only people who've been winning for 100 years almost, man.
Yeah. And I've always said, as terrible as the internet is, and it is terrible, the wealth of knowledge and the speed that information moves now, I think, has sort of made that realization that, you know, the state and those who are actively participating in, you know, flooding money into the state are the ones who are receiving benefits more and more at an exponential rate. I think people are realizing that faster and a little more widely now, so that's cool. But there's just a lot of noise and shit on the internet too, sort of working opposed to that. But
yeah, I mean, an argument could be made that that as beneficial as the widespread availability of information and the speed at which the internet provides it to us is actually a detriment to humanity, because the ability to spread misinformation, and I was listening to a podcast about Mark Twain, who is not a great human being, but then the number of misattributed quotes, and I think one of them might be a lie will travel around the world twice by the time the truth has put its boots on.
sure.
Butchered it. Probably not even a
Get the
Twain
gist,
quote.
though.
But yeah, and there's just so much misinformation and such a shotgun pattern off of the internet that it's...
You gotta sort through all the bullshit.
Yeah, and we're such a fast food, instant gratification
24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, that we, the royal we, rarely do we invest time into actually researching what it is that we hear.
And that's a quote. It might be Chomsky who said it, but it's like nobody actually wants to be informed, right? Because nobody has the time to read all the books, to do all the research, to sift through all the shit. Everyone just wants to feel informed. You want that talking point. You want that short blurb from an article that summarizes everything that's happening about, you know, a given topic into like, just talking points basically that you can repeat at the dinner table with your family, sort of thing. And yeah, that's basically just speak to what you were talking about.
You want your bias confirmed.
Exactly. Yeah. You want to feel informed. You don't actually want to be informed.
Yeah, and it's you could be misinformed, but as long as somebody comes along and shares the same knowledge that you do, then why would you go? Somebody else has the same knowledge that I do. Mm-hmm. Why it can't be wrong?
Yeah,
you know, and that's a poor way to live your life.
Yeah, and I was getting into it with my mom about something. I forgot what it was. It might have been about the whole because of Fox News, the whole boomer hate for what Greta was doing on the boat to Gaza, right? Like the news media was on both sides, and the government was ripping this autistic 12 or however old she is now girl for sending this sailboat to Gaza. Like, oh, what's she gonna do? Like, what are they gonna do? I'm like, it's not so much about like what they're physically going to achieve over there. It's like to sort of show you, people like you, like what's going on over there and how silly it is for the Israeli military to like capture or sink this boat, because you had Lindsey Graham and other senators and people in the news saying bomb the boat, sink the boat sort of thing, and no one thought that was weird, that like instead of rooting for the rebels we're rooting for the empire, basically. I'm like, that's sort of what the whole point of that was, right? And no one was seeing it, and we were talking and she was just sort of throwing back all these like Fox News, ultra Republican, ultra right, like talking points about it. And I was like, you're just using talking points you're hearing on the news. And she was like, no, I'm not, just parroting talking points. I'm like, no, everybody does now. Like, everyone has to, because no one has the time to read through everything. You're just getting the talking points from the wrong people, essentially. I know it's hard to do, but like for someone to say like, oh, I don't listen to talking points, or I don't like use other people's talking points to like form my thoughts or opinions. I'm like, that's kind of silly, because I think everyone does that. It's just like, are you taking talking points from the media that's bought and paid for by corporations in the government, and people who are wrong about everything from COVID backwards, or maybe people who have a different view of it? I don't know.
Well, it's because the echo chambers have gotten smaller,
Yeah.
but they've gotten more numerous. Because it used to be, you kind of fell into, right, you were either a Democrat, you were either a Republican,
Fox News,
right?
CNN.
You could. There's a huge spectrum of, we didn't call it the far right. Yeah. There were Christians who were of that ilk, right? But you had your old school conservative, small government, no fucking wars, right?
Yeah.
Like, we stay out of other people's business. We're isolationists,
Yep.
right? And then now, so you kind of fit in there. You could be fringy, right?
Yep.
But you were echo chambered into, well, shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear about your fringe beliefs about things. Fall in line.
You're taking away from the votes and the support of the party as a whole. So shut up. Yeah.
And then, but now with the proliferation of mass media, of social media, of stuff at our fingertips with the internet, our echo chambers have now become smaller, but more numerous and more narrow focused, right? Because you're able to find people who all agree with, who share the same view as you do, and you're not being told shut the fuck up by the rest of the echo chamber, because it's just
closed off from the rest of the world.
Yeah. Now I only have to deal with the people who all think the same as me. I don't have to interact with other people, and that, I think, is that goes back to, like, if you're only raised around one culture, that's going to it's going to be a culture shock when you step out of your culture, your society, and see the way that others live. And they're going to be others because they're not you, and is that a bad thing? No. I mean, I don't think you can say inherently that it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's how your culture, your society reacts to the existence of other people who aren't your culture and society.
And
right? A tolerance almost.
Yeah. And people like to point to like other like countries, mostly like white countries, where everyone's like the same religion, has roughly the same political beliefs, and showing how great that society is, how the crime statistics are down and whatnot. And I'm like, that's cool, but it's also boring, because like I like being here where I can go to Dearborn and have incredible food, right? I can go, and that's how places like Little Italy, like Mexican Town, Chinatown, places in cities pop up like that. Like, you need that to make things interesting, and some of the danger and the disagreement that comes with that is just a part of freedom, honestly. And I don't know, I'm not for having everyone be the same thing, be exposed to only the same talking points, the same beliefs, because that is boring at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's all fucking just white sheet cake.
Yeah.
And then shit's just fucking boring, bland.
Now what? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nothing can be, mono. Nothing can be monolithic. Nothing can be monotonous. In the world that we live in, there is, there's just too many different things, and different things are nice. It's nice to have it around, you know. It's nice to have something that you don't usually have to interject and to change things.
I think that I think for most of us, I think that's sort of baked into who we are. Because even people who live in those super safe societies where everyone's the same, everyone looks the same, everyone thinks the same, like, at some point or another, everyone wants to travel somewhere. Everyone wants to see a new place, be a part of a new culture, experience something new. So, like, at some level, like, I think people crave that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Until it punches them in the nose. Until they hear something they don't like or see something they don't like. But, like, people want to see something. They want, like, a little bit of nuance, a little bit of, spice.
Well, yeah, you get it from the people who will 100% sit here and tell you that a certain type of people shouldn't be allowed in the country, but then have no problems vacationing in their countries.
Yeah.
No problem going to visit. Oh, your country's so beautiful. Oh, your food's so great. But only when we visit.
Yeah.
We don't want that at home.
Yeah. Keep that riffraff over there.
We're just eating fucking unflavored boiled potatoes, and that's it. No spicing it up. But, like, I mean, that's what it comes down.
Yeah.
Would you just eat unflavored boiled potatoes every single day if you had the option of changing it up or seasoning it? Sure, eat boiled potatoes every day, but you could have a boiled potato every day that tastes like a different thing.
Yeah.
For seasonings. Nope, just salt.
Just salt. Maybe some butter.
Put some
if I'm
salt
feeling,
on it. Yeah.
Feeling gluttonous.
At what point? Yeah. Then you're just you're starving yourself of flavor. Wow, it turned into a high on podcast real quick.
Yeah,
there,
that was my bad. I brought up Trump.
No, not at all. I mean, I think modern day discourse again is echo chambered.
Yeah.
People don't want to have their opinions challenged because I guess I look weak, or I'm not a man, or they think I'm stupid or whatever. And it's no, I mean, you don't grow, go back to metaphors here. But if you've ever tried to grow anything, you can't just grow a plant in a vacuum.
No.
Right? It won't grow. It needs wind in order to strengthen its stalk. It needs some sort of adversity, some sort of change, some sort of variable in order for it to grow. Mm-hmm. And I think that people are too afraid of that, too afraid of having that their opinions challenged, or their views challenged, or told that they're wrong, and then backed up about it, right? Not just fuck you, you're wrong because you wear a MAGA hat, but like try and see it from my point of view. Things I don't know, man.
And I'm reading a book
solution
about like addiction and habits and whatnot, but they're talking about how averse to uncertainty like people are. And that I forget, it might have been Colombia, but they ran an experiment where people played a game where they pushed like a button, and at a random interval, random percent chance, it would shock them. They didn't know. It was unknown interval. They'd play it, and they'd measure their stress levels, how much they were sweating, their heart rate, their temperature change. And when they changed the odds of the shock from, random to 50% or even 100%, the stress levels went down. Even though people knew they were going to inflict pain and they can predict that pain coming, they were more comfortable with that than not knowing. Mm-hmm. And so I think even if accepting a viewpoint that you think is wrong but you feel like is right, and you can take some sort of certainty in that, you'd much rather stick with that than have it challenged and be uncertain about, the path you're on or what you think. So I thought that was very interesting.
That makes a lot of sense. And that is a good parallel to draw between like addiction, so like a gambling game type of a thing, and then and because it is gambling, expressing your views outside of your little echo chamber, your bubble, because you don't know how people are going to react to that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I did a little write up on this as I was reading. I was comparing, because there was a whole chapter about like Vegas and specifically the science behind slot machines and how back in the day, slot machines were just pieces of shit that, sat collecting dust in the corners. Nobody played them, and if they did play them, it was like 5 spins. And now they're like the biggest winner for the casino due to like just changes in how losses are presented. There's never a loss on a slot machine. They're called near misses, or say you put in $1 and you won like 10 cents back. That's called a partial win. You didn't lose 90% of your money. You won some of it back. So keep playing, keep spinning, sort of thing. I was like, that's just like politics, right? Like, Trump gets in the office, here comes a big, beautiful bill. It's going to do everything we want it to do. And then it does like 5% of really what we wanted it to do. And then a lot of the rest of it's bad. I mean, we missed the private land sale, obviously, thankfully. But like, you didn't get most of the stuff you wanted him to do once he got elected. But it's not a loss. It's sort of a partial win because, oh, look what he's doing for immigration and whatnot. If you're on Trump's part, you think it's great. But as a whole, it's still a negative. I think the only difference is at some point on a Vegas slot machine, someone does actually win a jackpot. Whereas in politics, that's never going to happen.
No, it's never going to happen. Well, so I think the gambling apps now being pushed by celebrities and shit
bread and circuses.
Welcome,
literally the definition of bread and
welcome,
circuses.
Welcome to another decade of, this is going to be like the 80s, the 70s, the 80s all over again.
Well, and now I'm really going in on this book because COVID obviously spurned the explosion of those. And someone ran an experiment with pigeons, basically. They gave pigeons a game where they would push like a dot or something, and then 15 or 20% chance someone would drop food into the enclosure. And then they gave the same group of pigeons a game where there's a 70% chance of food dropping. And you would think that the pigeon would, obviously from a survival standpoint, opt for the game where the chances of food dropping more frequently was higher. But the pigeon preferred to go for sort of the more sporadic, unknown game. Like, so pigeons gambled in a sense, but they found that those pigeons were living in like cages, in isolation, in a lab, completely out of touch from the outside world, whereas pigeons that they kept in an outside enclosure that mimicked, the outdoors with ledges and trees and other pigeons, they followed an evolution sort of logic much better. And so keeping us locked up inside through COVID and everything and not being able to move, people started gambling suddenly on their phones. Like, it's crazy concept. Like, pigeons fucking do it, and we follow the exact behavior pattern as pigeons.
We're not too far off, bud.
Apparently not.
Some of us are real close. And so, let's ride the Trump Dick hating train. Try Trump hating Dick train. Anyway,
we get it.
We'll edit that.
We're both on the same train.
That amazing gas station that sells firearms, alcohol, and ice cream.
Oh, I already know. Yeah, okay.
Oh, it is. There's flags and lawn signs, but and that's fine. You know,
lawn signs for 2026, 2028, or whatever.
For 2028,
I bet. Yeah.
It was a T-shirt. Now that because for 1 second.
Get another donut for this one.
Yeah, you can strap it. On one hand, rocking a politician like he was a fucking sports star or a fucking a pop music star or a action star is unfucking believable.
Retarded.
Unbelievable that you would give so much devotion to somebody who is actively, generally fucking most of us, the 99.9% of us over.
At its core, you pay his salary. And oh, by the way, if you don't, you go to jail.
Yeah.
So it's crazy for you to worship somebody like that. To me, I don't care who it is.
But then, to have the same party, the party of the Constitution, right? Allegedly, to even float the idea, if you're capable of comprehending two things in your brain at one time, and you wear a Trump 2028 shirt, and you claim to be, I'm a constitutionalist, there's something wrong.
No.
You're now, because they're now rooting for a king, an autocrat. And this is the party of don't tread on me, death to tyrants. the Schadenfreude is just.
Good word.
If I could see some, and I wear my homosexual shirt out. Shout out to Vandal Art, sketchy alias, and my buddy was like, "Why did you wear that? You know where you're going to be." And I was
That's
like,
why I wore it.
"That's why I wore it." So I was, because I make you uncomfortable if I can. But I was hoping, luckily the place we went, I didn't see anybody wearing a Trump 2028 shirt. Or any political shirt for that matter, which is great to see. But the fact that is even out there, and that there is a group of people who are like, that's what I want for my country, that's what I want for my life. And it's like, you live in a country that was founded on the fact that we're not supposed to be that way. I'm sure Britain will take you back.
Yeah.
I'm sure Britain will take you guys back.
Just don't tweet a mean thing and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be great. No, just go over there. Yeah, you like kings? They got them.
Yeah.
They're great.
There are some, I guess I won't call them tinfoil hat wearers, but there are some folks who are saying that's already being tested in Florida, where they already postponed some election. I don't think it was for governor. But they did postpone like an election for some official or a group of officials there until like 2 years out. It's supposed to happen this year, and they said, "No, things are going pretty good. We're gonna kick it down the road."
Well,
yeah, I'll have to look that up. I'll put it in the picture or something for this, but it's happening in Florida.
I would 100% believe that it comes out of Florida.
So at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if it is sort of like a testing ground to see how well can we get away with this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that. I don't know. Maybe Trump started this whole, and maybe this is where it's going, and it's just that the slow boil. But I mean, he should have waited until 26 to start this whole massive crackdown. But probably thought that he would have lost a bunch of either political clout or money. Momentum.
The good news is now I think the wind is out of the sails. Hopefully with this Epstein thing. The tariff thing pissed a lot of people off, and rightfully so. I don't think it was enough to really kill any like future fucked up ambitions like that. But I think the Epstein thing, as big or as small as you view it,
does suck the momentum out of it.
I think that was suicide politically.
Because he could have put us at war and then use war powers like
that's what
legit at like we went to war on terror, which wasn't a legit war, but if we actually enter into a war, he could be in 2028. He could be in 32. Yeah. I mean, that's which again, you would wait until like 26, then start up all this fucking shit. Hope that it carries over with a fervor so that you could, I guess, declare war on Venezuela or South Sudan or whatever. And Mexico, and actually had the had some sort of inkling of power. But yeah, I think the Epstein thing and the fact that he hasn't followed through. It's 6 months, 7 months. He hasn't followed through on anything that he's told his people, and now they're slowly coming about to the fact that he hasn't done shit for them.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, just like any other politician.
Yeah.
So don't just because I'm hating on Trump, I'm not dick riding any other politician.
It'd be no different. Now, at the same time, I'm not a fan at all at the speeding up of the timeline of like surveillance state stuff with AI and Palantir, because the Triple B, the big beautiful bill, paved the road to set up AI like traffic enforcement, surveillance, and plate readers and everything. And they're like,
did it still have the inclusion that the states can't outlaw it either?
Yep. Can't do shit about it for 10 years after it comes out.
Nice.
But it's just for the border. We've never taken an inch and ran a mile with it ever. And when we're done with it, we'll stop using it for sure. Just like the Patriot Act, We
happen to be that like one of those very special states. We're a very special state, and we probably should have been discussing this a lot more. There's very little of our state that isn't covered by fucking border patrol. We are so close that if you look at the map of where like CBP's like enforcement zone is, it's most of fucking Michigan. Because it's like it's 100 miles from a fucking border until you get out to a certain area, right? And then you can even come down, So it's scary. And then Trump has his that wing of the bird right now has its own pseudo fucking army in ICE, in these masked, unidentified dudes.
So these, I'm
rolling
assuming
up.
they have to be like volunteers, though.
They're
If you're going to roll up in plain clothes, like
No.
you're probably not a part of an agency.
They're deputized corrections officers
Oh.
who, if you know anything,
Yeah.
correction officers they can't be cops for one reason or another. And whether that be too violent, too
Yeah.
fucking
Corrections
stupid.
officers never done anything off the rails before.
But, so why not come and get the police academy rejects
Yep.
and deputize them? Because a lot of them want to be fucking cowboys. A lot of them want to do the exact thing that they're doing right now.
Yep.
Is control. Corrections officers love to hoard power over people. You wouldn't be a corrections officer if you didn't.
And that's a thing to realize too. I think when a lot of people talk about, oh well, overthrow their government, get ready to civil war and all this. Like you'll be fighting people like that. But there's still a large number of people who are very willing to take up arms for the federal government against the people of the United States, and those are the people who you're going to be going up against. The National Guard, the military, police. Like there's always going to be people who need to put food on their table, and that's always the main excuse for cops and everyone else doing stuff that's like a shitty job. They got to feed their families and whatnot. You're never going to have a shortage of people like that. And so that's who you better be a better shot than the corrections officer who's just deputized by ICE if you're going to go to town. So,
well, luckily, a lot of those fucking guys think that they're badass, and so they don't need to do any sort. They don't need any sort of qualifications. Well, they don't need to prove it to themselves how badass they are. They're just badass. I got a Punisher skull on my fucking plate carrier. That's how you know I'm bad. And it's got the Trump hair. That's how you know I'm even more badass.
Yeah, that's another mental illness.
So, yeah, a cult. It's a cult. I don't know. I don't know if I fear going up against a bunch of these people, because a good 90% of them are people who, again, think they're overqualified.
Yeah.
And it's only through strokes of bad luck that they're not high-speed operators. And the second that shit starts flying in the directions, they're going to have a change of mind about wanting to fight. Because while it's cool to fucking punch paper and shoot steel, it's a whole other thing to know that you're shooting at a living being. And they're especially because they're the ones who have completely dehumanized are the ones that are going to be the most terrifying.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who are going to be the ones who are sending lead down range at their fellow Americans, because their fellow Americans happen to be of a different flavor.
Yeah. And the recent example that I find really funny is that the people in LA managed to trap a whole lot of cops underneath an underpass with scooters and rocks. So like, it's not all doom and gloom.
They've been kettling them in. They've been surrounding them. They've been fucking fighting them and shit. And it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And and if all the headlines and articles that I keep seeing about ICE agents not wanting any more of this because now they're being harassed, they're being doxxed. Good. Because if I'm not going to sit here and defend the immigration laws that we have, because I don't believe borders should be legal. But if you're going to play a game, play by the rules. Yes, I get the game is fixed, but like, bro, you can't roll up in mass and no ID
and
out of an
people
unmarked.
to be cool with that?
Bro, you're lucky you guys haven't been shot yet.
I know.
You're lucky that like they're and I'm surprised that all these motherfuckers who do want to shoot cops, especially on the right side, on the right wing side, here's your fucking chance. Because you know what? Because you're going to go to work on the construction site and you're going to be missing Jose, next week, when you could have had a chance to shoot that cop that you've always wanted to do.
I think a lot of at least from the right wing perspective, the left wing, I guess you throw the ACAB, the Antifa folks in the, quote unquote left wing category. They're anti-cop, just, at their core anti-cop. Whereas I think you go far enough right, they're anti-cop. But if the cops are going after the brown people, it's probably okay. So they probably don't have too much of an issue with it.
Man, I miss the old rural redneck country folk who hated cops. they could hate everybody else too, for, that wasn't like
'Cause-
them.
'cause
But at least they hated cops too.
Yeah, because they knew that, like, first of all, I'm paying your salary in for what? Like, you're not making my life any better out here. If anything, you're here to just make things more difficult for me. And that's how I view them personally.
Yeah.
So,
Cops were started as a racist organization, picked from other racist organizations. Slave catchers, the Irish constabulary, where they were, the British were just rounding up fucking the Irish and putting them in jail for being mixed.
we'd have a pretty neat habit of that, like NASA. Finding the most racist fucks to start some powerful organizations.
Oh boy, some of the most racist fucks, huh? But we had to go to space.
Anything to get to space.
Man, we had space Nazis real early, man.
Yeah.
We had space Nazis real early. As much, and I have probably made this statement on this podcast before, but like, I hate to say it because it might end up genociding an entire other species of human beings, because like apparently that's just what humans like to do, is fucking wipe certain things off the face of reality. Aliens, or hey, maybe some aggressive space fascists who aren't humans. Maybe then we would all collectively come together as one humanity, right? And we can stop hating on brown people and then hate on the space jellyfish or whatever.
Well, you're really going to hate what I'm about to say. You sound like Ronald Reagan towards the end of his administration, because he was begging for an alien invasion to bring the American people together when he was losing his mind.
God, Alzheimer's hitting me quick early, huh? I don't have anybody to prop me up
Yeah.
and help me make bad decisions.
I love all of like the big hardcore Reagan fans. So I love pointing out, I was like, you do realize that his wife let their astrology person like basically decide their entire agenda like every day. Like literally, they got their horoscope reading, and then that's how they made decisions to run the government.
Would you expect less from some fuck from Hollywood?
No, but with all
Who was propped up to be the governor of California because he was a Hollywood star? Yeah. No. And now we got the shitty cable TV version.
Yeah. That dude.
Although he was in Home Alone 2. So he has been in movies.
He was?
Yeah. Home Alone 2 took... Yeah.
Oh, I think talking about Gavin Newsom. Oh, I got you.
You guys talking about Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
No.
I thought we were talking about California local. Got you. Okay.
He was a body double for...
He does look like an alien.
Oh, no. He gives me... Oh, God. What's the Christian Bale movie? Why am I blanking on it?
American Psycho?
Yeah, American Psycho.
Bateman.
Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
He gives me Patrick Bateman vibes. But
With touch of
so
gray.
does Hop.
Yeah.
So does
Yeah.
Hop, and then so does Riz. Riz gave me Patrick Bateman vibes when I first...
Slavic Patrick Bateman, yeah.
I was just like, okay. Yeah, because I did call him that, didn't I?
He met us. You met us down here like a while on Friday. He pulled up and he got out. He had the polo open, gold chain, the hair. I was like, oh, we are Slav maxing right now, aren't we?
Did he have Adidas on?
Probably.
Nice. Adidas slides. Yeah, Gavin Newsom definitely always struck me as yeah. But just like every politician. Although like I said, Mamdani, I like what I'm hearing about him, what I'm hearing from him, what I've read on him. I mean, Socialist Democrat pushes us in a direction.
I think. I mean, he's obviously. I'm gonna like, even if he is going into it with the best intentions, I think anything carried out under a system of government is just gonna fall flat in his face. I don't think it matters who's in there. I think it's gonna go bad either way. Whether he's in,
So then-
Adams, or whoever else is running against him is in. I think.
I thought I always thought that when you and I sat down to have like a one-on-one conversation that we would definitely get into theory. I didn't think it would take 3 hours, but as these things do. But I mean, okay, so if we can't phase government out through government, right? Which I guess is if we move the needle of government into a direction that eventually gets us to a place where we no longer need government, right? Through electing whatever that path may be, if it's through communism, whatever, towards having no government and just a people governing itself. That would be great. So how would you, because I don't know if it's anything that I've really devoted a lot of time to, but I think that I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Through a societal change, or a cultural change, how do you shift us towards a point where we can affect change to the whole, to society, to make it better for everyone, right? To get to this anarchist utopia. You guys can't see my fucking air quotes over this stuff, but
I was originally very much like it's impossible to change it from the inside, and I still am. But I think one thing that has to change, I think, from the inside for us to do it without some mass.
Are we talking about in government?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's just a government thing that I think has to change for there to be any hope of it changing in like a way that isn't like a mass like casualty
die
thing
off of
or
people.
conflict. Yeah, is 16th Amendment, which is income tax, that has to go.
So if we weren't paying so much of the government's salary, that
I think
there would be less a chance of them to fuck with us.
I think that disincentivizes a lot of what's going on in the government. The reason why there's so much, because like there's a book. It was written by it was only 80 pages, but it was written in 1954, which is 40 years after the 16th Amendment was passed, and it goes into what was going on back then. Regarding special interests, lobbying, and paying the government to get breaks.
Is that
taxes.
PDF that you were talking
Yes.
about the last?
Yeah, they get breaks on taxes and special treatment because now people have learned that if you play ball with the federal government, including the state governments, like state government officials now, they're no longer representatives. They're more so procurement officers for the state to get federal support and federal funding. So it's no longer about making sure that government is really supporting the people and the needs of the people they're supposed to represent. It's to make sure you're getting federal funding and special treatment on the floor for your bills and whatnot. And so I think if you take the money that people have earned and not making the state have first dibs on the fruits of people's labor, I think that changes the dynamic quite a bit. And I think that obviously does still ignore corporations and other special interests and the military-industrial complex that has incredible capabilities of violence as well as financial to influence the outcome of other things that happen. But I think that starts to change the dynamic of things in a way. And I think people would start to realize then if the state doesn't have the money to do what we rely on them to do, it'll suck for a little bit. But people, and if you believe in a market economy, people will rise to the occasion. And like, again, they'll fix the roads. They'll figure a way to, make sure people get like water, but like you're not allowed to do that stuff right now. You can't go out and fix the roads, otherwise you get arrested. You can't fuck with the water supply, which for a good reason you shouldn't be able to fuck with the water supply for everybody.
You can't patch a pothole in your street yourself without, you would be ticketed.
So there's a lot of bureaucracy and incompetence driven from that. And again, this is all, I haven't spent enough time really thinking about it. But then again, in order for a country to, really assert itself as a dominant superpower, you need to hire an army. You need to be able to pay that army. And we do that through taxes right now, basically, and obviously borrowing more than what we can ever pay back, including the taxes. The amount we collect in taxes isn't enough to pay off how much money we owe to other nations. But taxes, I think, is the first thing that has to go. That obviously puts more money back in the people's pockets, and it does disincentivize a lot of people from going into government, hopefully.
Yes, like you said, I think if you get Citizens United out, corporate money out of politics, then when the government is only
taxes doesn't get the corporations out of it either. It doesn't stop all the industrial complexes that are spinning around right now.
If you were able to get to get MIC,
Yeah.
to get corporations from paying the salaries or padding the salaries of these government employees. And then, yes, you did take away the income tax. I think
And
that
before
would be
the
a way to
income
do
tax,
change from the inside.
This pamphlet makes a really good argument that states were truly their own like nation. They can operate under any like economy or any system that they wanted to. Some even did try a form of socialism under their own banner. But as soon as everyone became the federal United States of America. We weren't just the actual United States, where every state was its own thing. And I think that just speaks more to the fact that like you can't have one system of government that fits the needs of everybody, right? If every state is truly different and not catering and sucking up and playing ball to the federal government, you have a better chance maybe of finding something that better suits your needs in another state. But they're all so similar now because they all have to cater to the federal government, that everyone's just sort of stuck in adhering to this one system of government that, you know, a one-size-fits-all answer isn't a solution for anything human. And we saw that during, I think, COVID's one example. But in anything, it's just, we don't work like that. We're all too different for it to work like that. That's my take. And just like saying, starting with the 16th Amendment is all that I have right now. And even that's half-baked, but that's where I am.
No, that's great. That's a solid thought, and it
Now,
definitely
will it happen from the
sounds.
inside? No,
Probably
probably
no,
not.
no. And it definitely sounds like you have put a lot of thought into that. So, like in a societal change, which I think would be what you need, because a government can't survive without its people, right?
Yeah.
And if it's all its people are of this is gonna of the same mentality,
Sure.
air quotes, right? That you can't. The government. There's no way that the government is able to enforce its rules, regulations, laws upon the populace, right? And so I think that in some way we do have to get on a single track
Yep.
of certain things. Obviously, writers of different creeds and whatnot, and different schools of thoughts, but we can't all be the same. There's not one size fits all.
Right.
We shouldn't be monotonous, but we do, I think, need to be monotonous and monolithic on one thing as a society in order to affect some sort of change where we do move into a form of society that is more anarchistic in its values.
And it's not going to be like as a nation, yes, but like it's not going to be like massive cities, because you're not going to have that many people that just goes to sort of speak to. I didn't mean to hijack your thought here.
No.
But like people weren't meant to live in like massive cities. Like that's just not natural to people. And that's why throughout all of, I think, human history, like, yeah, you had large, like, I guess, bodies of people, thinking like the Aztecs or other civilizations and whatnot. But, like, people had their own, like, little communities, too. They weren't living on top of each other in, like, apartment complexes and whatnot. Because, like, I just don't think people are that similar on, like, the small things. On the big things, maybe, yes. But I think that's why people naturally try to find, like, little pockets in neighborhoods and subdivisions to get along. And I think that helps with the nation-state sort of view. But
I think that we're more ant-like than we care to admit, because I do think that there are certain people who do love that.
Sure.
We were just talking about it earlier, who
Yeah.
love to be on top of each other.
Yeah.
Because they like that. They like being able to just walk next door and get a cup of sugar
Fair.
from their neighbor. They like being able to go out and and get the morning paper, running into 3 or 4 of their neighbors who are all doing the same thing. And that's what gets them through life, makes them happy,
Yeah.
whatever. But I think it's that cities. You had to live in the city in order to have access to modern conveniences, in order to have access to what was the the burgeoning world. You couldn't be off in just the
Right.
woods. I think that for a long time that's how it was, right? You just, hey, here's a piece of land, go live out on that piece of land, and eventually, towns, I think, are a natural progression, right? Communities, no man is an island, or
Right.
man is an island, or a monolith, and you need others to survive. You need a community
Yep.
to survive. You can't just do it by yourself. And then, it just became you're forced to live in the city. And if you decide that you're going to be in a community by yourself, well, we don't like that because we can't keep eyes on you, and you guys don't follow your own rules about things and whatnot. And I guess that could come back to bite you in the ass, as you see now, where there are certain religious communities who perform, do weird shit to their followers.
Yep.
Even though their followers aren't necessarily of a consenting mindset. So, it's two sides of the same razor.
And I think part of the city equation is similar to how the system of government we have today is, I think, the natural tendency of a civilization to head to. Like, it's in human nature to, the purpose why we invent things and develop technologies is to create more time and opportunity for us to enjoy the things we find leisurely, to do things that we like doing. And so eventually, as we create more and advance more, we like the convenience and the opportunity to enjoy more leisurely things. So whether that be, living closer to more people with more businesses and on top of each other, we don't have to travel as far, work as hard to get food or other things, get other things done, whether it be work. And then with government, if we don't need to, struggle to keep, a state government alive, we can just have this one big thing that keeps over everything, and maybe we pay X percent, it's probably fine, it's good. And I think at some point a civilization reaches a tipping point, a reset moment, where it could go really, really bad, where the government just takes everything, or you knock it back into its hole and you start over from a smaller system. And I think that's sort of where we're creeping up to in how we live, and just with government in general. I think that's just, we followed a very natural cycle of human behavior and of civilizations.
Yeah. No, it's empires are all cyclical. They all fall.
I think everyone wants something for nothing. I think that sounds really nice. I don't have to do anything, and there it is, and I can just get by, and but I think we're realizing that doesn't really work.
And I don't think I don't think everybody wants something for nothing. I mean, I think that you shouldn't have to jump through as many hoops as maybe you do in the modern age to achieve what it is that you
Sure.
want to do. I mean, if you're talking, I mean, you break it down to I don't want to work. Well, it's people who say I don't want to work. They just don't want to work the jobs that they're only capable of working, right? But if all their needs are met, maybe they're the person who creates a new color or fucking some other shit, because that's not the work that they're good at. They're good at something else. Mm-hmm. And we just, as a society, as a people, your worth was really judged on what you own, right? All your little luxuries and your conveniences that you could have prove that you were worth
your lawn.
Something. Yeah. And then and we have nothing but time, and literally that's all you have. You're born into this world, and your time limit is set.
Yep.
Right? The clock is ticking. You're not getting any younger. You're not going to get any more time on that clock.
Much as I hate Bob Dylan, was it him who said just everyone's just busy dying or something?
Get busy living or get busy dying. Yeah. Or Mark Twain probably said we're all born dying.
Mark Twain said everything at one point.
He did. Any pithy or witty quote is always Mark Twain. We trade our time. That's the only thing that's really valuable, right? Is your time, your labor. And we're being robbed. We're being robbed of that by people who are stockpiling that time, right? And are hoarding. If the people who listen to words that are coming out of my mouth, billionaires, the people who are running the country, are hoarding minutes of your life. And I hope that you are comfortable in your life where you are, and the amount of time that you've traded away, and the people who own that time now. Because we trade our time for dollars, and there are a handful of people who are sitting on lifetimes of men, women, who could have done other things, could have been the next Da Vinci, the next Michelangelo, but instead had to flip burgers at McDonald's or do something that they don't enjoy in order to continue living in this world.
Damn, I think that's a good one to end it on. I think it's a very good point to make.
All right.
Yeah, we did hit 3, well over 3, because I think we were out there for like 30 or 40 minutes before it started raining. Well, cool. I think we'll end it on that. Thanks for coming out.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Let's do this again. We'll do
It's
coffee and
always
cigars.
great. Yeah.
Maybe more people show up next time, but if not, we'll continue this.
I'm usually free mornings and on the weekends, definitely.
Sundays are always open.
We have to time limit these.
I know. I'll have to send the notice out more than a night in advance.
No, you know
it popped
what?
into
No,
my
it's
head
fine.
late last night. I was like, it'd be fun. Let's do that.
And then next time we'll have four points, maybe.
Yes, yeah. We'll have a board so we stay on track, maybe. Or not. Who knows? Well, cool. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.